It been done. My true game, my West Side, Bankhead. They where I'm from.
Where you from, nigga?
Everything y'all did.
What it is?
It been done. My true game, my shoe game. You can't touch that shit. Bitch that hollering about fuck me. Nah, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch. Bitch that hollering about fuck me.
Hold up.
Nah, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch. Bitch that hollering about fuck me.
Hold up.
Nah, fuck that bitch. 3. What you wanna do here? Bitch, I'ma float like root beer. Still working on getting the cool clear. You ain't got none of my shoe gear. Red on the bottom right there, red. Shout she a mother, her hair red. Bitch, you ugly and bitch, you ugly. And both y'all hoes look scary. I don't wanna get married. Chick, you a bird, parrot. Ain't so good, these hoes like, boy, you get fat, eat salad. On round around, no guinea, no bunking. Got your main bitch on my dick, shit, she ain't nothing.
You lame.
Her hips fast, seen her walk past me like shit. She seen my Audemars, she try to touch that. I said, bitch. I bang hoes, riding in the drop top rain road. I train hoes, I'm a pimp, Trinidad Jane Cole. West Side, Bankhead. They where I'm from.
Where you from, nigga?
Everything y'all did.
What it is?
It been done. My true game, my shoe game. You can't touch that shit. Bitch that hollering about fuck me. Nah, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch. Bitch that hollering about fuck me.
Hold up.
Nah, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch. Bitch that hollering about fuck me.
Hold up.
Nah, fuck that bitch. 3. FDB man.
FDB.
Fly like L train. Man, these lose got checkerboards on. He ain't got this pair, man. With my LDB clip.
Fuck that bitch.
33D shit. You can tell that bitch, man, fuck that hoe. Ain't studying that cheap trick.
Bitch, please.
Sit for birthday. Bitch, where's your skirt at? All I like is blowing in cause you don't even like perk packs. Y'all niggas so wet. And bitch, you so green. I pull up on the scene in the green saline. Yeah, nigga on too clean. West side was upper. Y'all nigga my supper. Fuck that bitch before I do that shit. I might need me a rubber. Belly on rotund. One whip, 4 gun. If you see the baby mama holler, fuck that bitch. That hoe ain't no one. West side, Bankhead. They where I'm from.
Where you from, nigga?
Everything y'all did.
What it is?
It been done. My true game, my shoe game. You can't touch that shit. Bitch that hollering about fuck me. Nah, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch. Bitch that hollering about fuck me.
Hold up.
Nah, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch. Bitch that hollering about fuck me.
Hold up.
Nah, fuck that bitch.
West side, Bankhead, they where I'm from. Everything y'all did, it been done. My true game, my shoe game. Can't touch that shit. Bitch that hollering about fuck me. Nah, fuck that bitch.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake the fuck up. This is WTFU with your hosts, Thomas Horazzo, Gizo, and Chantel London. Staying woke from the US to the UK.
Yo, hello, what up, everybody? It's Tom Horazzo from WTFU. I'm sitting alongside my buddy Gizo over here. He's a little bit busy right now. He's eating some BK. I'm trying to see what he got. Look like a chicken sandwich or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to live his best life and, you know, eat the best thing he can out the menu or whatever. Chantel, you still with us?
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm right here.
Good. And let's see here. Let me check out a couple things here before I oh shit, I didn't even fucking let's see here. Real quick, I wasn't even looking at my thing over here, but salute to Jean-Paul Shelton, Mac J. Adams, C-Town 100. All right, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, guys. So let's see here. Trying to get oriented. You know what I'm saying? Jizo throwing me off eating that BK. Let's see here. All right, so okay, just to jump right into it. You know what I'm saying? We're not even going to talk about the weekend, the weekday, whatever. But Bill Cosby, right? We're not going to be talking about this too much today. We know Rich wants to have a more in detail conversation tomorrow morning, I assume. But he went down. What is it, Chantel? 3 to 10 years?
3 to 10 years, they're saying, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
No, I just my initial response is, kind of like, hey, if he did what he did, he deserves what he's gonna get. He deserves what he gets. I don't. I know we the initial, from a lot of people, right? You want to say, well, I hope, this guy, I don't want to start playing the comparison game, because we have to take the people that are doing wrong in our community. We gotta, we have to hold them accountable as well. That's the way I see it. How do you feel about it, Chantel?
No, 100%. Like, if he did do what they're saying he did do, then he has to kind of do what he has to do right now. If it's jail time, he has to do jail time, I guess. I mean, it's kind of sad that, this guy that most of us looked up to as we was growing up, on the Cosby Show, as this is his demise, this is his legacy as an old man in his 80s. It's very sad to see, but it is what it is right now.
Right. And
I just hope it's justice and real justice.
Yeah. I mean, to these victims, to these victims, D Holla saying, that bitch looks like a tranny. Are you Jizo's cracking up? Are you referring to the chick, one of basically the accuser who was in this last trial? I think that's who D Holla might be referencing. Yeah, so in a way, maybe it's like, yeah, I don't want to get into saying what was it worth it, right? Was she even good looking enough to do it, or is she lying? I don't want to get into the minutia. Bottom line, it could have been a dude. He could have Bill Cosby a dude, and it wouldn't be right either way. It could have been some up and coming cat who's like, yo, what I'm saying, I'm a comedian, I'm trying to get on, blah blah blah. Of course, I'm not saying that Bill Cosby went that route, but either way, whether it was a lady who looked like a transsexual, whether it was whoever, it's just wrong to I think to try to take advantage of people when they're in that state, when they're in a inebriated state. But again, I know that Rich will do a better job tomorrow in covering it in his style. I do like Rich's style, I have to say, on the mic when it comes to stuff like this. But oh shit, what are we gonna? Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of blast off, because Chantel, you've been feeling some type of way about this, and I want to just make sure your voice is heard here. So last week we touched on Black British actors, right? We talked about the Harriet Tubman movie coming out, and that they picked this British actress, who has a Nigerian, she's from does she have a Nigerian ancestry, Chantel? Is that fair to say, or is she from Nigeria?
She's first generation Nigerian, so she was born in South London to Nigerian parents.
Okay.
So she's British Nigerian.
So, a person who we're a big fan of, I don't know if we can say we're still a big fan of hers, but we still enjoy her commentary. What's good, Jess Var? Thanks for joining us. So Yvette Carnell, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there. We're not that we're out there, trying to clout chase off of her recognition, but we do listen to her. I would say all three of us do follow her, and she has a big problem, with basically Black British actors portraying American DOS, right? DOS standing for descendant of slave, right? She's got a problem with it, and Chantel, obviously you're Black, you're British, so right. you're taking issue with that. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Yvette Carnell, she stands on her square, she takes no prisoners, and her thing is all about DOS, so descendants of slaves, but of African American origin. So like, it doesn't matter if your ancestors were slaves and you're from the Caribbean, or you're from Brazil or you're from Haiti, etc., you have to, it has to have been on American soil. And, in previous videos, she talks about allies. She said, I'm down for certain allies of the DOS movement. But now it just seems like she just kind of has an issue with anyone who's black but is not American. And so that's really kind of come to, I guess, a big point of contention right now when it comes to this movie and having this black British actress who was cast quite a while ago to play Harriet. They're going to be starting to film the movie next month in Virginia, so it'll probably hit the screen sometime in 2019, I can imagine. So just to put a little bit of a backdrop on this and just to kind of put this into a little bit of context. So a little bit about Cynthia Erivo. So just so everyone knows, she's not just any actress that has been cast for this role. Cynthia Erivo, she's best known for her performance as Sally in the 2015 Broadway revival of The Color Purple. We all know The Color Purple. It's a fantastic film that most of us have watched. Have you never seen it?
No. See, now I got to play catch up. I gotta check it out.
Yeah. So she played that role. She's also been in other sort of theatre productions as well. She's actually an Oscar away from becoming the youngest person to receive EGOT status, which means that she will join the club of people such as Whoopi Goldberg, Andrew Lloyd Webber, Audrey Hepburn, etc., because she's got a Tony already and she's got a Grammy already. So it's part of that club where you get all those recognition. You become part of this EGOT status, and she's put in the work to kind of be where she is right now. I think one of the reasons why this became an issue of contention is because there was an Instagram critic who said the following. Okay, why do Brits come to the US and take roles that should be reserved for African Americans? How would you feel if we went to your country and snagged all the acting roles? Why can't you people create your own movies and roles in the UK? We paved the way for ourselves here, and you people come and take shots we worked hard for. So that's what one critic had said. And in response to that, Cynthia has said the following. I struggled a little with whether or not to post anything about this role, because even though there is so much celebration and encouragement coming through, there's also anger and offence spread on by my being from the UK. I guess there is a bigger conversation to be had about heritage and experience, also about who Harriet really was. That cannot be had in an Instagram post. What I will say is that my journey to this woman has been long and detailed, and one I have not taken lightly. Nothing has been given to me without me first putting in the work. People speak of foreign privilege, and truthfully, life would be unbelievably easy if that was applied to me, but this is not my portion. I fought for the role of Sally, so that was from The Color Purple, and spilled blood, sweat, and tears playing her. The same applies for every role I've earned. This will be no different. I hope that I do everyone, even those in doubt or upset, proud. I hope I quell your fears, because I understand that is what it is. I cannot tell how protective I am of this woman and her story. I posted this because I cannot allow people to make me neglect to celebrate this honor. This story has gone unnoted for long enough. So that was Cynthia's response to the harsh critiques. So I have a bit more that I want to talk about, but just first to you, Tom, because I know that your position is completely different to mine.
My position. See, what's funny is to me it's not about the actors. At all. So the personal attacks, toward the actors, I would not, I just don't encourage. I think it's silly. As a matter of fact, I have a slate here that I want to put up of some of the actors that we're talking about here. If you just stand by. Okay, here we go. Almost there, folks. This is how we make the sausage. Here we go. Anyways, So a lot of these actors that I'm flashing on the screen now, you know, I actually all of their work I'm a big fan of. You know, whether it's what is it? Is it Idris or Edris? Some people pronounce it differently. You know, Chris had made mention in the chat room earlier. What was it, Chantel?
Idris Elba.
Okay, whether it's him, you know, whether it's Tandy Newton, I'm a big fan of hers. You know, her work on Westworld and several other projects. We got this cat up here at the upper right. I forget his name. I'm not good at with actors' names, but I know their work. In Red Tails, you know, he played Martin Luther King. Great work. So I don't want to attack the actors themselves, because they're not at fault. They're just people trying to work, right? I mean, this country opens its doors to people with talent and people who are ready to work hard, you know, and they're a part of that that flux. So my thing.
And I think it's almost sorry, go on, Tom.
No problem. No, go ahead. I want you to.
I was just gonna make a quick comment to say, like, I almost feel like it's a limited mindset to kind of just set, like, you know, your ambition and where you want to be in life, just where you come from. Like, we live in a whole wide world, and if you can seek opportunities somewhere else, then why not? You know, there are UK actors who have found it perhaps easier to get roles in the US, but that's not without their merit. Like I say, you know, the people that you've mentioned right now, they are excellent at what they do, and that's not taking anything away from American actors. It's just the fact that they've gone out there and perhaps, you know, casting directors, producers have seen something a little bit different in them. Maybe they've seen an added level of tenacity that they have left the UK to go to the US to fight for a role, and maybe the fact that they've gone to the US has made them fight even harder. You know, take me for example. If, for example, there was an opportunity that came up in America for me to like do some broadcasting, like, I'm not gonna get on a plane, sit on a plane for 8 hours, go to America and do like a mediocre audition, right? I'm gonna give it my 110% because I've actually put in the extra effort to even be there, right? So I think, like, sometimes we have to take that, you know, into context, that these actors, like, they're not going into it like halfway. They're gonna go in there and really try and show why they deserve that role, because I agree with Yvette to some extent. These roles should be primarily reserved for American actors to an extent. So if you do give it to an actor who is not American, they really have to bring it, you know. And I think these actors are doing that.
Well, I read it's interesting that you say about the tenacity, right, to get the job right in America, right? They're leaving, you know, England, they're coming here to get the job. But to me, this rise of the Black British act, and I pulled this graphic here, this collage from BuzzFeed. And it was an article that I read just prior to coming on, or actually yesterday. But it was from a couple years ago. The thing is, the article states that Black British actors are just not getting the they're highly trained, first off. They're very well trained, classically trained. And they're just not getting work in England. So when you say that, you know, they have tenacity, right? The thing is, some people may say, well, they need to have the tenacity to fight for jobs in their country, right? It's easy to say, well, it's not popping here, let me go somewhere else. These actors, I would like to know, you know, how vocal are they in saying, you know, a couple of years ago, we had this whole thing, Oscar so white, right? When basically there weren't any movies that had black, you know, stars that were nominated. You know, so a lot of the you know, like Will Smith, I know, and his wife basically said, we're not going to the Oscars. You know, they kind of just skipped out on it. And, you know, is that happening over there? So we have, that's the first symptom. This first symptom is that they're not getting work, or they're not getting the opportunities that they're getting over here. And the second one,
I think the Hollywood industry is just a lot bigger in the US. Like, we don't have a film industry that really topples, you know, Hollywood, right? So there's going to be more roles that become available in America in general. And, you know, we have to remember how small the UK is as well. Like, the UK is about the same size as Texas. Like, we're a tiny little island in comparison. So it's not to say that roles aren't here, but in comparison to like the population and the opportunities in a place like US, there's always going to be more opportunities from that perspective.
Right. No, I agree. You guys have you ever heard of Pinewood Studios?
Yeah.
You know, it's way smaller. You know, Pinewood doesn't compete with Hollywood at all. I mean, yeah, they make 007, but, you know, freaking, and again, I haven't looked at the whole history of Pinewood, but you're right. You know, America, we have big, you know, we're basically number one in movie. I think the top 3 movie making countries in the world are America, India, and Nigeria. Freaking
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that. In fact, Nollywood is actually second largest in the world after Hollywood, and then it is Bollywood.
Right.
After that, Nollywood is absolutely huge. When it comes to Nigerian movies, like, it's massive. It's an $800 million industry, apparently, according to Forbes. So
That's bigger than Hollywood.
What? No, Hollywood's the biggest.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
So, but real quick, I want to quote a poet, an American poet. His name is Robert R. Williams. There's levels to this shit. All right. R standing for Rameek. This is Meek Mills we're talking about here. When I say that there's levels to this shit, this is something I don't really talk about too much. Usually on this show we talk about racism, you know. But there's something called, it's not called, but it's ethnic hatred. Right? American DOS, descendant of slave, is a hated. So not only do you have your racists that'll just look at a black person and say, I don't like any black people, right? Anyone who's darker than me, I don't like. That's your bottom of the barrel type of people. Then you've got these people that, you know, they kind of choose between ethnicities. So when you talk about an American DOS, you got to understand, you're talking about, there's a lot of history there. We're talking Civil War, 1 million people dead. You know, we're talking about Plessy versus Ferguson, right? This is separate but equal doctrine. This is when basically white people are trying to stay separated from black people, from American DOS. We're talking about Brown versus Board of Education. Now you're forcing, right? The government is forcing our kids to be together. You know, we're talking about Michelle Obama saying that every day I wake. This is when she was in the White House. Every day I wake up in a house that was built by slaves. You know, freaking that sent Bill O'Reilly through the damn roof. There's just something to it. But with these people that I have on the screen, these great talented actors, that weight isn't there for Hollywood, for Americans who just don't like descendants of slaves. So this to me, this is a way to subvert. You know, so basically, right, you've got American, you know, people of color, black people saying we need more diversity. And then you've got Hollywood in a very slick way saying, oh, we'll give you diversity, right? We're going to put these people on, you know, there's your diversity, right? You got black people on the screen, you know what I mean? But no, that's why Yvette Carnell is saying, no, it's about the American DOS. I'm basically paraphrasing her, right? We, American DOS, fucking made the wealth in this country. We built the damn country. So her thing is always like with the fruits, the fruits that this country has borne, right? American DOS should be benefiting from that, not black people who from another country. So I kind of understand where she's coming from, but again, it's not. I don't blame the actors; they're just trying to get work. The reality is Hollywood is very, very smart at trying to placate the masses, right? You got Jizo, American DOS, you know, freaking, you know, right? So you just talked about coming down and getting an opportunity, right? You could to basically spite Jizo, they'll give you the opportunity. Right. And then they'll make you and Jizo fight it out, as we're kind of doing right now, to be honest with you. If they had cast Meryl Streep as Harriet Tubman, all of us would be enraged. Probably white people as well. But no, now they're making us have this infighting. And that's why I'm really, really trying to avoid, picking on this, specific actors, or, you know, like we talked about, what's his name, Boyega, last week. You know, he made the comment back to what was his name, Sam Jackson. You know, I don't want to get into that type of infighting, but I think for me, I want people to understand that this is just a little slick way that Hollywood and industries in this country can get around basically elevating, right? Maybe they don't want to have the next Denzel, right? You know, they don't want the next Denzel to be an American guy. Right, because again, with American DOS, descendants of slave, there's a certain fight there. You know what I mean? There's a fight that they have that I just don't think that that the actors from other countries that are black have.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning,
Chantel, you still with us?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm just letting
Yeah.
you finish, Tom.
Oh,
I'll jump in a second. Go ahead, Jesus.
yeah, no, I was saying last week when Tom was saying that I see your point of view, Tom, and I see Chantel, so I'm kind of stuck in the middle
You
because
got to decide. You got to choose.
I was like, if they black and they can act or act and they can black, it's all good with me. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you said Tom Cruise playing the samurai. You remember that Paul Mooney skit that you played?
Oh yeah. So right. Hollywood is crazy. Too bad I don't have the audio queued up here.
Like they said, Brad Pitt and what's that movie name? The Mexican.
The Mexican.
Yeah, it's like, and it was.
And what about the Paul Mooney movie that's supposed to come?
Yeah, but I see what you're saying where they trying to like, okay, we're not going to give it to these Americans to send BOSs over here. We're going to give it to the British actors. But it's hard. I mean, at least they're not trying to like you said, if Meryl Streep was to try to play Harriet Tubman, then it would be like, what the? But it's like that movie I was talking to you about. What's it? The Egyptian God movie where they had mostly white people playing Egyptian gods that Egyptian people in Egypt were not white at all. Especially from what's that movie? You don't remember, right?
Gods of Egypt.
Gods of Egypt. Yeah. So I see both of your points, and I'm like stuck in the middle. But also to put another thing on it. Netflix, you have to be creative. Like, Hollywood is just one way in. I mean, it's other people creating, like, look, all these Netflix, you got Hulu. It's like other ways to pave your way into production. Like, I still want to get into production. So Hollywood is not the only way to get in. I mean, my friend told me, I don't know if you ever watched Stranger Things, Tom, with the kids.
Nah.
Yeah, it's a Netflix hit. This kid was making like, maybe $60,000 an episode. The first year, now next year he's making $300,000 a episode, and I thought it was for the season because my friend that works at BMW, June, he said he came there to buy his father a Beamer, and I'm like, how much he make? He was like, yo, this little kid is like 15 or making $300K an episode. So I mean, just say it's like 10 episodes, that's $3 million right there. So in other words, like Hollywood is not the only option to get real money in production or acting. But go ahead, Chantal.
Yeah, I think you make a good point, Jesus. And look at where we are right now. We're on YouTube. We're on an independent platform creating content, and there are a lot of filmmakers out there now, and actors and producers and directors who are creating independent content on YouTube. And Tom, you made a comment earlier about British actors need to maybe find other opportunities and not maybe just head to Hollywood. And British actors really are. And there's for example, there's a show out right now called Shiro's Story, and that's popping in the UK. It's like a rap drama. It's on the third part now. It's excellent. Like, that is an example of excellent creative directing and producing and acting. And we're doing that kind of stuff in the UK. I've watched similar content in America. Like a couple of years ago, you guys got, what's it, Money and Violence, based in New York.
Yeah.
Coming along creating content on YouTube, and everyone's saying like, this needs to be picked up by Netflix, this needs to be on the mainstream. And that's what people are doing now, rather than trying to bang on the doors and say, I've got this great script, can you fund me to create this content? What people are now doing is creating their own funding mechanisms, building the content, and then the world comes to them. The people with the platforms come to them and say, actually, yeah, you are popping.
Exactly.
We want to pay you to come to Netflix. So, if you've got the talent and you believe in yourself, it's about grabbing those opportunities or creating those opportunities.
Yeah, it's just like social media, just like rappers. Like, back in the days, you used to have to get your demo and go and shop it to like, a million record companies. Nowadays, if you get a social media following, like a lot of rappers that came up, and you get a fan base, if you got content, someone's going to like you sooner or later. I mean, everybody has an opinion, so not everybody's going to like you, but, even the garbage dudes get picked up, you know what I'm saying, sooner or later, or they just get a following, and you might hate the rapper, but sooner or later, they might have a song you like, oh man, damn, it's like in my head, but I'm just looking at the chat room real quick. The Hollow was like, Tom Cruise did this thing in Samurai. I didn't see that movie. Did you see it, Tom?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it was a good movie. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just the fact that he's the last samurai, right? The samurai has a cultural significance in Japanese culture, and to call him the last one is crazy. To me.
And Chris was like, look how many. I was going to touch on that real quick. look how many international basketball players the NBA has. As long as your team wins, it's all good. Laugh out loud, no complaints. So, yeah, we got for the last 20 years or whatever, international players coming over in the A getting money, doing their thing. And of course, we could go over there, but, most of the money is over here. So, like, Steph went to China. Some cats go to China. J.R. Smith went to China.
There are a lot of Americans playing ball abroad in smaller leagues, doing their thing.
Yeah, so it's like, you just got to get money. I understand that, like what y'all was talking about with the DOS and how Hollywood is not trying to let, black actors from America in. And, maybe this is a way, oh, yeah, you got your black actor, but it's not from America. We're not going to let you DOS's one choice of words to get on Hollywood. But, Hollywood, I'm glad. I'm just glad there's a lot of different opportunities besides Hollywood because, like I said, Netflix, YouTube, originals, they got Amazon Prime has. I don't know if Amazon Prime has its own where you could submit like content and but if you create the content, people are going to come. So
right. Real quick, John Paul Shelton had said something about the CIA reviews movies. Every movie before they come out. Before the movies come out, and right now I'm showing you guys, and I don't know if you're familiar with this, but this is a photo of the original, basically, crew from it was an opera called Porgy and Bess. Porgy and Bess was actually, so they did this opera. It was about a handicapped kid in the hood who basically was a beggar, and he kind of befriended this prostitute, and basically try to save her from her pimp, just to put it simply. He was also her drug dealer as well. And this thing toured the world in what year was this? God, this was probably the 40s, I want to say, 40s, 50s. It toured the world, and the CIA actually funded this this play, this opera, and they even went to Russia. And the CIA would send agents out to kind of record how the Russian people were reacting to it. Basically intel gathering. So art obviously plays a big role, and there are people who regard this crew, of actors, saying like you did a national service by going to Russia. Like a lot of these places were hostile to black people. You tell black people, yeah, we want you to do it. Like, I'm not trying to go over there. They don't have no love for us, but no, you need to do this. This is important. Trust me. And they did it, knowing that they probably wouldn't be received, with open arms, in freaking Russia in the 50s. I doubt, Russia today is a friendly place toward black people, unless you're bringing the money. If you're like, what's his name is actually a Russian citizen, the boxer, Roy Jones Jr. He actually has Russian citizenship.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's starting some schools out there or whatever. His plan is to start some boxing schools. But yeah, if you're a regular, black guy coming from something, you're not bringing no money. Like, yo, I just want to come here. I want to work. They're going to be like, yo, get the F out of here. This ain't that type of place. Go to America. This ain't America. So that's what they would say. So, yeah, man. But again, my main concern, I just want to kind of finish off with that, is my main concern is that, that Hollywood is not trying to basically pull the wool over our eyes by not hiring. Because we have a lot of talent. I ran a couple numbers. 33% of all theater majors, right? So we got people in. See, and this is the thing where people say, oh, the British actors are better trained. 33% of our theater majors are black. We have the talent. The talent pool is out there. Why aren't they getting put on? I don't necessarily know. We can't say without having firsthand knowledge. Why are they skipping over our American, blacks and black people and choosing others?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Tom, and I agree with you. I feel like as long as there's not a bias while casting, it's acceptable for actors to be cast, as I said, outside America. But I wouldn't want it to be like what you said, that they are deliberately, overlooking talent in the US. That wouldn't be fair. But at the same time, I think it's unfair to then say we won't accept talent people who are not from the US as well. I think, and as Jesus said as well, like black is black. Like obviously you're going to want a black person to play Harriet Tubman. And, we must remember as well that, heroes such as Harriet Tubman, like she transcends like her greatness throughout the world, especially from a Pan-African perspective, a conscious perspective. Like everyone, reveres, what what Harriet Tubman stood for and what she did, right? And so she's an international icon. She's an international symbol of strength and courage and bravery and endurance. Because I know some people might feel like, you know, if you're British Nigerian, such as Cynthia, she may not understand or really feel, you know, what other people in America may feel for Harriet Tubman. But I just feel like that's a flawed argument. Like, of course, she can definitely understand, overstand like the historic context of a woman like that, and I'm sure she'll do her due diligence while playing that role.
Yeah, no,
She wouldn't do it.
I agree. You know, I was thinking back at Don Cheadle. You know, Don Cheadle did a movie, I forget where on the continent of Africa a few years ago, or it might have been a show for Showtime. I'm not 100% sure. But he did a show, and Don Cheadle is so talented. You know, obviously he's an American. He's an American black man. He was so talented that the local, the advisors, the people that were working on the show, these were Africans. You know, he said they started, he's talking with one guy, and the guy starts talking to him in that language. I forget what the language was, but for this conversation, we'll call it Swahili, right? That's just because that's the only one that I know, the only dialect, you know. So he said the guy starts speaking Swahili to me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't speak. He's like, what do you mean you don't? Because he had just saw Don Cheadle, you know, pull off this scene where he's like nailing his lines in the native tongue. And that's just how good Don Cheadle's basically tricking Africans, you know, having them thinking that he's African. That's how good the guy is, you know what I mean? And like you said with Cynthia Erivo, if she's as talented, and I haven't necessarily seen her work, so I can't say, but if she's as talented as you say she is, she's gonna nail it. You know what I mean? So I don't have a concern as far as that. She's gonna do the role justice.
Exactly. And I would say, just to conclude as well, that from one DOS to another, this is going out to Yvette and any other critics.
Okay. Oh, shots about to be fired. Stand by.
Okay, so remember who your enemy is. We are not your enemy. We are your ally. In fact, we are not your ally. We are your brothers and your sisters, the same lineage, same legacy, same language, same ancestry, same motherland, one blood, one bond, and never mind nationality. The reality is we are one. We are one people, and we've been divided for long enough. And I've just got a quote here that I want to end on from Harriet Tubman. It says, every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world.
Stop taking our jobs. No, Shanta. No, you know, I'm with you 100%. The division isn't going to help. You know, it isn't. It might make somebody a lot of money. You know, because whenever you can divide people, there's money in that, but it's not gonna make us any more effective. So no, I agree with you 100%. So all right, we're good. I think we're good. I think we got it all out there. Now we have to wait for the movie. Now let's go out there and support the movie. You know, and then we'll talk about it afterward. How we felt about it. Jizo, my man.
Yo.
You wanted to talk about something today. You were feeling some type of way too about what you saw this weekend.
Yeah, man. That hold on one second. I'm just putting that. Yo, did you ever see Hotel Rwanda?
Yeah. I actually have that on DVD. I might have bought that. Yo, did I buy that when I was in Fallujah? Fucking because I was bored as hell. You know what I mean? Fucking out there. So I think I copped it. That was a good movie.
Yeah, because
basically they made him out to be like in a way, it was like he was the Schindler, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he saved people.
Yeah, John Paul was saying that's a real good movie.
Yeah. Also, John Paul, real quick, not to harp on this too much, but Chantal, I don't know if you want to comment on this, but Jean Paul Shelton believes that there's some casting couch type stuff going on, you know, with some of the actresses. What do you think? I mean, I guess I'll just kind of lay it out there and put it where, like Jesus says, where the goats can get it. Are these British actresses giving it up to the Harvey Weinsteins of the world to get some of these roles?
Pure talent. We don't need.
What kind of what? No,
pure talent.
Chantal. No, I agree that it's pure talent, but what type of talent are we talking about here?
That.
You would like to know, Tom. Wouldn't you like to know?
No, not me. I'm a professional. Anyways, so Jizo.
Yo,
Fahrenheit 9/11, man.
Fahrenheit 11/9, man.
11. I can't. I'm dyslexic. I can't do that shit.
Nah, I know, right? They just twisted it. Yeah, man, that documentary movie by Michael Moore just came out last week. Y'all need to go see it. It's very moving. There's a lot of stuff in there. I'm just going to basically touch each point, and then I'll let y'all, elaborate on it. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't even get to say how you doing, because I was eating my Burger King.
Yeah,
and stuff.
sitting there eating that
Yo,
stuff.
man, it's raining crazy out here, man.
Yeah, man.
It slowed down a little bit.
And we still got lights, so let's keep it moving.
Yeah, keep it moving. You just saying that because you got to go to work, man.
Yeah, man.
We're going to make you late today.
Shit, okay. I'll just leave. You stay up here.
Nah, but yeah, this movie, man, it was crazy, man. It was just basically talking about how did we get to this point? How in the hell did we have this dude on the Empire State Building? It was crazy when they showed Trump when he, and I remember, what was that website you had me watching? You was like, yo, man, there's no way that Hillary's going to lose, man. And it was like, and then like that whole night, I'm looking at it.
Oh, this is me telling you that Hillary wasn't going to lose?
Yeah, you remember that website that it showed like the percentage of like.
Yeah, I mean, I was on 538. 538, you know what I'm saying, is really accurate. As far as making my prediction, I'm looking at all the models. I'm trained in political science. That's how we roll. We use data and modeling to try to forecast some of this stuff. So all the models are sitting there saying, Hillary's going to win. Yeah. I'm going with the models,
Yeah, I remember.
I got played.
I remember Cat Williams had made this joke. He was like, in the news channels, it's like, there's no way Trump is going to win. He would have to win here, 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 and here. And it's like they came back from break. There's like, they were sweating and stuff. They're like, oh my God, where are the, I don't want to say, but they was like, where are the niggas at? It was like, yo. But I mean, hey, fucking Trump, man. But anyway, they're just talking about how did we get there with this dude. They was he was all over the place in the beginning of the movie. He was talking about how Gwen Stefani, like, basically got Trump started, and do you know what he's talking about with the Gwen Stefani shit?
Gwen Stefani? Nah.
Yeah, she was a coach or whatever on The Voice or whatever, or
one of the judges, yeah.
She was getting paid like $12 million. NBC was paying her. So Michael Moore's theory was that Trump got mad because she was getting paid more for The Voice than he was getting paid for The Apprentice. So remember when he made that big coming down the escalator,
right,
in Trump Towers, and he had all these people going crazy. So from there on, it's like he went on this rampage, and he had already rented out a couple of places to do rallies. So he's kind of saying that Gwen Stefani is the reason why Donald Trump became president, because he just got in that role. And then once he saw the rallies and all the people in the Midwest, that was like, yeah, we're with you, Trump. And then that's when juices started flowing. But the message in this film is like, yo, get mad and do something about it. Like Uncle Matt would say, like, everybody's up in arms about, how did he. We basically rolled it out to him. I mean, from the Bernie Sanders, from the people that didn't want to vote for Hillary because, they felt Bernie got cheated, which I'm still kind of confused on that. I know, Tom, you probably would know more than I would on that, but I was trying to do some research on it, and I couldn't really find anything that said he got robbed.
Right. Just real quick, I disagree with that Bernie got robbed. Just enough of us didn't vote for him. Bottom line, not everybody's all about universal health care, free college. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us look at it like, how the F are we going to pay for it? Which is a legitimate question. Yeah, I don't think people were ready for Bernie. What's funny is I think people are more ready for Bernie now than ever. You know what I'm saying? They're seeing the tax cuts go straight, basically make these tax cuts are benefiting the wealthy. What's crazy? In the last 3 days, I've seen, I'm sorry, Gizo, to interrupt you, but 3 major freaking acquisitions. We got Michael Kors buying fucking Versace for $2 billion.
Oh, really?
We got Sirius XM buying Pandora for $3.2 billion. And I just heard today that Arby's, the parent company of Arby's, the fast food joint, is buying out Sonic for like $2 billion.
Oh,
this means that they have a lot of effing cash. The reason why they have a lot of effing cash on hand is because their taxes just got cut. You think all those companies that I just mentioned went out and took those tax cuts and say, oh, now it's time to give back to our workers. They stayed with us through tough times, through rough times, through the freaking through the financial crisis. No, they didn't.
Wow.
Now they're just going out there. They're going on a fucking shopping spree.
Damn.
Go ahead, man.
That's some deep shit. See, he's the RZA with this shit. I didn't even know that. Damn. So Bernie, like you said, he didn't get robbed. And when you look at that movie, it looks like he was making it look like every state Bernie was winning, and somehow it came up as Hillary. But that's a whole nother situation. The main thing of the film, because he's from Flint, Michigan, or at least Michigan, was that Flint, Michigan water crisis, which really, of course, everybody knows about Flint, Michigan, the dirty water, kids getting lead poison, they're messed up for life. Doctors were talking about how it messes up their DNA. Oh, that's that.
Shit. We
got
a
flood warning.
We got a flood warning and shit. We gotta get the hell out now.
Yeah, so that's one of the parts of the movie that because they went. He was going back and forth about Trump, but it's funny how Trump was coming to Michigan. It was kind of like he was admiring Governor Snyder, that the crooked governor that made the pipeline. He took it from the people in Flint. They was getting fresh Lake Huron, if I'm pronouncing it right, water, and then they started getting this Flint River nasty water. I mean, because they had the Lake Huron and Detroit River. It was good, and then when they switched it's just like messed up, man. I was just like blown back by how the doctors were showing like lead levels because they wanted to cover it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, when I was looking at it, I was like, Dad, that happened over 3 years ago or something like that, whatever, 4 years ago, and you're like, okay, well, did anything happen with that? Did this guy even get locked up? So it's like
I think there's a couple people on trial. Matter of fact, what's funny is I think it's the Michigan, the director of their EPA, which is a black guy. I think is actually on trial.
He's gonna take the fall.
He's gonna take the L. They always find a way. If there's, I'm telling you, if you're a black dude and you're working and you're at a high level, trust and believe that, you're the fall guy.
Yeah, and so they showed Trump coming there, and it's like he probably wanted to take a page out of Snyder's book, like, this dude got away with murder in plain sight. So, if you, it's like genocide. Come on, man. Like these kids, like it was a lady that I think she was in the war in Iraq. She said, "Listen, I used to bathe in better water in Iraq." She's like, sometimes she used to use water from bottles of water. That water over there is like, some of the water look like piss green or like brown. Like you wouldn't even want to wash your hands in that shit. You like probably messes up your skin and everything. But and then what Obama did, but I heard Obama did get FEMA to come through. But in the movie, like when he came over there and did that stunt, I think I was telling you, he came over there, he did the speech. Everybody was cheering for him, and he took a glass of water, and they was like, "Nah, you don't want a glass of water. You want a bottled water." And he was like, "Nah, give me a glass." And he took the glass and he put it to his lips, and I swear to God, he didn't take a sip, and he put it down. I'm like, and he did it twice, and I'm like, why would he do that? Not just like for a black community, but they was looking for you to just come in. I don't know how long it took the FEMA to get there, but that just to me like made Obama look bad. Like, I love Obama, but that's one thing I didn't know about. Like, what was the stunt for? Like, you should have came there like, this water, I see what you're talking about. This water is off the level, lead level. But don't come there and act like everything is good, because they was booing the shit out of Snyder. And, he basically Snyder made a lot of money for him and his cronies. And like you said, black guys taking the fall. And I know it's not all about black and white in this, but mostly black people are being affected by this. And
right, Flint, Michigan is a majority black town, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, and this is something we haven't talked about a lot, but environmental racism, right? A bunch of black people living there. Fuck the water. A bunch of Native American people living there. Fuck, put the pipeline right down their fucking throats, right over their ancestral homeland and burial places. You know what I mean? Fucking. That shit would not happen in the burbs.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, there is something going on in upstate New York. You know what I'm saying? But because there's not a lot of people there to vote, you know what I'm saying? They look at it like, y'all not vote. Yeah, you can't do a damn thing about it. They look at it like, your little village of 2,600 people in upstate New York ain't gonna phase us. We'll just keep sweeping you under the rug. And
then what's crazy about the Flint, Michigan shit too? Mm-hmm. GM. Like the water that was coming in from wherever that messed up river that was lead levels, their engines were getting corroded from the water. So GM had to they changed it for GM, but they didn't change it back for Flint. Which really just because it's all about the money. You know what I'm saying? Because GM is bringing in that money. So yeah, we're not going to change it back for the people that has to live here. Because they don't bring in enough money. We're gonna of course GM is General Motors. But I was like, look at all this fuckery that's going on. It just had me, it had me tight. Then of course, they go down to West Virginia where teachers were striking. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
They weren't even making enough to be considered above the poverty line. So you got your teachers in these public schools teaching. I mean, teachers don't really make that much unless you're in a rich town like Greenwich, Connecticut, or maybe even, I don't know, some places where the taxpayers are paying a hell load of money because they got money. But these people they had to strike for like a week or 2 weeks to get 5% raise in like healthcare. The governor or whoever, I think it was a governor, this dude looked like he was 400 pounds. He wanted them to wear a Fitbit. It was some kind of like health
Initiative,
healthcare. Yeah. He like they had to wear a Fitbit.
Right.
And they're like, I'm like, this dude looked like he needed like 5 Fitbits. Like what are you doing? Like they was
work 60. You need to walk 60,000 steps a day. And shit,
yeah,
right?
I was like, and then so like they held it down for the bus drivers and everything. But I'm like, how could you be a teacher? How could you have a job and still? I mean, and that's what it kills me about. They talk about people that want to work. You could work like 2 or 3 jobs and still need assistance, but everybody's lazy. You know, and it wasn't just black teachers. It was, I think I saw mostly white teachers. I think the population in West Virginia is, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I saw a lot of white teachers there. And I'm not just saying it, you know, I'm not on that black and white shit. But I don't want everybody to think I'm just pro-black and I'm just all for the black man's getting fucked. I mean, it's all this country. If you're a regular, everyday working person, this is Trump campaign or whatever you want to call it, his cronies is effing everybody, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna see it if y'all not really paying attention. And you know,
John Paul Shelton coming through with the stats. Thanks. 85% white in West Virginia.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, so exactly. Like I was seeing a lot of white people out there. Like, damn, they struggling too. And they had this guy that was in the army or he served, and he was like, you know how you say like people that could run for office. He was like really mad about the stuff that's going on. He's like, I could take you 5 minutes from here and I could show you kids that are living worse than over when I think he was in Iraq or wherever he was at. And he was like, it's just crazy how the poverty in West Virginia is. And I know it's like that all across the country, but you know, they making it think, oh, you're getting jobs and jobs are coming back. And, you know, like you said, these tax cuts are basically for the wealthy and these businesses, like nobody's really reaping the benefits if you're like an everyday working person. I mean, I don't see it.
Right. The UN already said that there's places here in America, because they've studied it, that have third world level poverty. You know, we're talking Alabama, we're talking West Virginia, we're talking Mississippi. You know what I mean?
And those are places that voted for Trump, thinking
of course. You know what I mean? They vote against their own interests because they'd rather live in a very low quality of life than have the government help them out with anything. So basically, let your kids live in poverty. Give them no hope, just so that the government doesn't intervene in your life. God forbid the government ask you to stop smoking. You know what I'm saying? So that we can make healthcare more affordable for people. That's just insane. You know what I'm saying? Just that type of mentality. But
yeah, and it was, and the last thing it was talking about the Parkland, Florida kids that. Those kids, like I said, I think I was talking about it on a couple of shows ago. They're going to really make the difference, and they're already making a difference in, how they, they're getting out, getting people to vote. I think they actually got somebody in office or because it was this chick, right? She had a bald head, or she had like a low Caesar, like mine's a little lower. And this guy that was, I don't know if he was running for some office. He called her like some kind of lesbian or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? It was this Parkland, Florida shooting. It was one of the kids that was speaking out.
Yeah, one of the kids, he called her, yeah.
Yeah, like it was a female, and she was speaking out to Trump and the NRA. And anyway, some dude, called out her name. He said, yo, you got this lesbian, something, blah, blah, blah. And actually he dropped from the race, and they got somebody else to, I don't know, take his place or either get on the ticket. So basically they started their own kind of, if you want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here.
What are we talking about?
Basically the Parkland kids help people get in office by getting a committee together. They, like they had their own little
political action group.
Yeah, political action group. Thanks. I'm stuck, man. And they're getting people to go out and run for office like that. Well, I'm not saying that she's from the Parkland, like that lady that you was telling me about in the Bronx, that ran for
Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah, they had her in there too. Like basically you got a bunch of people like women, you know, that's coming out and running for these offices that or spots in government that you haven't seen before. And they were showing all these different, you know, people that's going to be running and stuff. But I mean, the main thing on that show or that movie was that it's just a cumulative body of like everything that's wrong with America. And it's not just Trump. I mean, basically, we kind of like laid the carpet out for Trump, and now he's just walking on it. They show how Hitler rose to power, and you know he's trying to basically do the same shit. You know, he's doing it in, you know, like basically kind of the same form and fashion. You know, but I don't see how people don't see it. The people that really got Trump, you know, even around here, I see Trump, you know, big ass Trump signs. And be like, yo,
it's because they want that. They want an authoritarian government. You know, I'm telling you, with a lot of these people that are going for Trump, they realize that democracy is a bad thing, right? Because democracy is giving, you know, American DOS and everyone civil rights, right? Democracy brought that around. Authoritarianism would have never let American or basically slaves free, right? I mean, and we actually have the historical proof. We had to kill 1 million, you know what I'm saying, Americans and Confederates to get freedom for slaves. You know what I mean? Then in the civil rights era, you know, we one of our greatest hero in this country, you know, MLK, you know, had to be murdered, you know, in order to prevent, you know, civil rights from happening, and it didn't. You know, it actually propelled it forward. Yeah. You know, they're realizing that democracy is not the way. We cannot have people choosing, because when people choose, they're going to always choose freedom. They're always going to choose rights. You know what I mean? More often than not. You know what I mean? And so they're looking at it like we need an authoritarian. We need a king-like figure who's basically going to say, I don't give a F about the rule of law. I don't care about anything. What I say goes. I am the law. Basically like a Denzel in Training Day type character. You just live here. You know, fucking I run shit here. You know, type it. And that's what they want. And they got him. You know, so yeah, I'm going to try to check out the movie as well when I get a chance. You went to the theater to see this, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to do all that, but I'll have to wait till it hits DVD or something. Know what I'm saying?
Can I just pick up on a point that you guys made earlier?
Sure.
I just wanted to make a quick parallel. So you was saying something earlier about some of the states where people are, I guess, are struggling. You know, they wouldn't necessarily vote for the party that's going to benefit them. They'll vote for Republic or whatever the case is. And I think we have a similar situation here in the UK as well when it comes to like Labour and Conservatives. And there's a lot of people who we might describe as, being working poor, and it would benefit them to vote for like the Labour Party. But I think there's a mindset when it comes to a lot of people that they don't want to vote for the situation that they're in. They want to vote for the situation that they aspire to be. So they'll vote for the party who is going to make their life more hell because they actually want to be part of the elite group that would benefit from the Conservative Party. So I think that's the mindset that a lot of people have. And even though you might be aspiring to be part of an elite society or be a part of the middle classes and have a big income coming in and being comfortable, you have to vote for the situation that you are currently in the present moment. You have to think presently. And I think it's just a change of mindset, and that would change the voting habits of some people.
Right. No, I think you hit the nail on the head, Chantel. Yeah, they're looking at it like, yeah, I want to be like these people, and if these people say that smaller government is better, then I'm gonna roll with that, and hopefully one day I'll be sitting in the big house, you know what I mean, fucking making money off stocks and swindling the hell out of the American people. That's the American dream, to be a fucking American crook.
Yo, sometimes I'll be like, yo, man, I'm going to have to move out this motherfucker shit.
So where you going to go, Jizo?
Yeah, that's what they say. Where you going to go? Where's it not racism?
Yeah, man. So, all right. So, thanks.
Motherfuckers trying to do prisons. They're going to be having fucking camps.
Yeah, they're going to be like, we got somewhere for you to go. Fucking,
I'm coming to London, Shanta.
So, Jizo didn't even call out, what is it, spoiler alert on. He just gave you half the damn movie. So,
I'm sorry, man.
You know but let's keep it real. I don't like I said, I've never seen a Michael Moore movie personally. I don't necessarily like his style. You know what I'm saying? But if he's got facts in there that I can extract and use them, then you know.
I think you would like it. Somebody else said that at the gym. There's actually that I was telling Chantel about the dude from London. I ain't gonna say his name, but yeah, he like, I don't really like that guy. I like it. I like, yeah, it was good to me. I mean, from Columbine 9/11. I mean, 9/11. Columbine, bowling for Columbine.
He didn't add me though, Jizo. You said he's gonna add me. He didn't add me.
Oh yeah, I don't know. He, he probably said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I send him your stuff though.
He no new friends. He's on that no new friends maybe. But so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here in a second. But I kind of feel bad about this one because this one's a little late. But I saw a little more on it, and I just had to talk about this shit. I don't know if you guys remember a few weeks ago where basically some houses started blowing up in Massachusetts, right? This was kind of actually during the hurricane. So a lot of the news coverage, Chantel, I don't know, they probably didn't talk too much over there in England about a Hurricane Florence, but, basically, crazy ass hurricane that stalled right over the Carolinas. Dropping shit.
I heard about it. No, we heard about it because that wasn't that around the time just after I came back from the States.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, because the thing is, I got home and because obviously, I don't know if the guys in the chat room know, I was meant to have obviously gone from Connecticut to Memphis. And like, I still to this day don't know why they cancelled my flight. But all I know is that when I got home, everyone was saying to me, oh, it's a good job you came home when you did because of the hurricane. And, you wouldn't want to have been stuck in Memphis, blah, blah, blah. So I know it was just around that time. And yeah, we were watching it on the news and it looked crazy.
Right.
But it's hurricane season anyway, isn't it? So
y'all have flew right over that shit.
Yeah.
Like this one airline that flew right over the Allegiance. Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be in the air when there's a hurricane happening though. That's a bit crazy.
I want to fly through
turbulence. Wow.
I want to.
Technology, man.
So we had that. So right, like D Holla's saying in the chat room, there was a gap. Basically, I heard that it was over pressurization. So I didn't. I guess technically, gas leak, over pressurization. So they were saying that the gas. So anyways, during that storm. And again, this didn't probably get as much. I think it got a decent amount of coverage. But Chantel, in Massachusetts, like 40 houses blew up. Right? They just started blowing up randomly. So from what I remember, it was overpressurization of the main line that was feeding that area of Massachusetts. I forget what town it was.
Anybody died?
I don't know. Maybe one person. Some people got injured. I had to kind of look back on that.
I slew the shit out of them.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's some shit like out of a movie. Random houses blowing up in a neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like
they'd be like terrorists.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, people were thinking that. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, we don't know. Right, we're never gonna know what it really was. You know what I'm saying? These systems are basically online. They're networked. You know what I mean? Could someone hack in there and say, "Yeah, let's start running up the pressure on the line"? You know what I mean? All this stuff's computer controlled. We don't know. I'm not gonna go to that level because that's not really the angle of what I'm going for here. So a bunch of houses started blowing up.
It reminds me. Sorry. It just reminded me of the in the group the other day. Jesus shared a video about the future of terrorist attacks and actually being able to have these little robotic things like blowing people up without anyone needing to be there.
Right.
Just got me thinking about that. It's very scary.
Right. You don't even have to. Right. You don't have to shoot someone to kill people.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Like they got like little drones, like them little slaughter bots.
Right. So
drones,
I'm like, oh shit.
So
it's not funny.
I'm just saying, like if they came in here, they fucking come to your head, back.
All right, so we're going off on the audience. It's not fair to the audience because they don't know what we're talking about. I'm
sorry. It was these slaughter bots. 30-second synopsis. It's these drones that they were talking about. Autonomous drones. Did I say it right?
Autonomous, yeah.
Autonomous drones called. They said this could be the future of autonomous weaponry, where they had like these drones. They were like say 100 little hand-sized drones coming to kill, like, how they, the U.S. uses drones overseas to kill, terrorist targets. Instead, if you in the house with him, hey, you gonna get blown up too. But this is more gets that one person, but it's like 100 of them, and they just coming for your ass. Like you could be somewhere bunkered in. They know where you at. They coming for you. They blowing up shit, going through walls, and then when they find you, they shoot headshot, bang. So it was crazy, but like how could you protect yourself against that unless they start creating force fields and shit.
Body armor. We're all gonna have to be bodied armored up. I don't know. Fucking.
I'm sorry. All right, go with your stuff. I'm sorry.
All right. So yeah, I just trying to wrap up here. So, anyways, that story basically. Anyways, the cops wind up putting up a map, which I'm gonna show now. So this is the Massachusetts State Police. Massachusetts State Police start basically plotting where all this stuff is happening. But they kind of let the cat out of the bag. And I know it's very tough for the audience to see because it's tough for me to see. But they have these on the basically bookmarks, right? On these bookmarks that are at the top, you see a couple Facebook, icons there, and there's a couple other ones. But basically, these were bookmarks from anti-Trump groups, right? So these are just basically people coming together, forming their own little group, saying, hey, we're going to have a march, we're going to have a rally, we're going to have a powwow, whatever. We're going to have a crying session, whatever it is, the hell whatever style they want to go ahead and protest against Trump, they're going to do it, right? They have these various ways. So these are basically what they're calling leftist extremist groups, right? And this just speaks to the nature of our country. This is why I'm bringing this up, right? Far right-wing extremism, oh, that's okay. This is America. Oh, but anti-Trump? No. Massachusetts State Police need to fucking track these groups. We need to freaking have we need to bookmark them and be checking up. When are they going to meet? Where are they going to be at? What restaurant? What are their plans? This, that, and the third. I just find it freaking ridiculous. So they sent out the screenshot. They didn't realize that people were gonna stupidly. They didn't realize that people were gonna see their thumbnails there, their bookmarks. So here's a couple groups that I think that they should be focusing in on. Let's see here. These are 2 neo-Nazi groups, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, that are in Massachusetts. I don't see the effing bookmarks, on their web browser, checking in. What's up? What's popping with the Daily Stormer? What's up with Vanguard America? They're worried about anti-Trump groups. This shit is just effing ridiculous to me. And what's funny is this isn't the first time that the Boston PD has gotten caught and out doing this shit. In 2012, they were spying on anti-war groups. So basically, it's the Boston Regional Intelligence Center. They created them after they created it after 9/11. It's what they call a fusion center. So there's about 77 of these in the country. So these intelligence reports that they come out with are basically calling anti-war people fucking extremists. Civil, so they're kind of categorized as criminal acts, extremists, or civil disturbance. And they're calling it threats to American security. No, I'm sorry. The effing wars are the threats to American security, right? When we're bombing, brown people all over the country, that's going to hurt us. Not fucking the people that are anti-war. And the shit just fucking, it just blows me away. So these are some of the groups that they were spying on recently that they kind of spilled the beans on by accident. Mass Action Against Police Brutality, known as I guess we could call it MMAP or MAAPB. All right, the Coalition to Organize. This is another one. The Coalition to Organize and Mobilize Boston against Trump. Combat. Facebook MA Activism and Resistance Calendar. So now we're talking about groups that are protesting against police violence and against Trump. That's who they find as a threat in society, not the neo-Nazis, not the right-wing extremists that are actually killing people. I don't have the numbers on me right now, and I'll look them up, but I believe more people in this country have died by the hands of right-wing extremists than have been by Muslim extremists since 9/11. All right? And I'll get you guys the numbers on that, but it just shows, again, this is America, Chantel, right? Right-wing extremism, you want to blow shit up, you hate black people, you hate Hispanic people, you hate Jews, you hate women, all good. That's just how we are. This is what you got up now? That's what I got up right now. Those are the 2 groups that are in Massachusetts that are neo-Nazi groups. And there's several other groups that they have on their map as well. Actually, they actually had the Nation of Islam on the map as well. But all these other hate groups they could be targeting. But again, freaking again, our default position in this country, right-wing hate is great. But if you're a left-winger, you're anti-war, you're anti-fascism, we can't be having that. The guy gotta I don't like that shit, right? I don't like that shit. Gotta drop a dime on them. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking bullshit. And we have to speak with our vote. Forget about the Facebook group. We want Trump out of there. Register to vote. You guys are probably seeing, I've been seeing it on YouTube, this register to vote button. Of course, I don't look at it twice because I've been registered to vote since I was 19 years old. And I haven't missed too many votes. You know what I mean? Now, some people may say, well, Tom, what have you done? I don't know what I've done by voting. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I want to just make my voice heard. At least I want someone to count me. Say, okay, Tom put his hand up. When he saw something he didn't like, he put his hand up and said, no, that ain't right. And he basically gave a big thumbs down to whoever the fuck was in power. And I don't know how significant that's going to be. But for me, it's all I can do, right? I'm just an individual. If we all get together, we'll have one collective big thumb or big down vote, to get these fascists out of power. So hopefully November, man, I hope November is a good month for America. But guys, we're right. America the beautiful, thumbs down. It's basically the Constitution. Melquan wrote a check. You know what I'm saying? But they haven't cashed that shit yet. And I'm kind of paraphrasing. I'm kind of stealing some of MLK. They wrote a check, and you know what I'm saying? The government has not cashed that check on all men are created equal. You know what I mean? And so it's up to us to hold them accountable. But like, yo, come with that voided out check. Like, yo, where's my money at? You know what I mean? You owe us. Pay us like you owe us for what they did to the Cold Crush. That's Jay-Z circa, I forget what year. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the team. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys and hear from you guys next week.
Peace.
Everybody's sleeping over here. Everybody's sleeping. All right, guys, take it easy.